Welcome to the Teaching Autism and Special Education Community Podcast. Hi, I'm Nikki, a passionate special educator, autism advocate, resource creator with over a decade of experience, and you may know me as the face behind Teaching Autism. This podcast is your go-to place for practical tips, hands-on strategies, and inspiring and funny stories to support special educators all around the world, whether it's building independence, creating engaging lessons, or finding that elusive work-life balance. I'm here to help you thrive inside and outside of the classroom. Let's dive into today's episode and make a difference together. Hi, and welcome back to the podcast. Today we are diving into one of the biggest challenges in special education, and that is meltdowns. So if you've ever had a student completely lose control, screaming, crying, maybe even hitting or throwing things, you know just how intense meltdowns can be. Not just for the student, but for everyone else around them too. And as much as we would love to stop them before they start, sometimes meltdowns are just unavoidable. But here's the thing. How we handle the meltdowns can make a huge difference, not just for that moment, but for how a student learns to regulate over time as well. So in this quick podcast today, I'm going to be talking about the difference between meltdowns and tantrums, strategies to de-escalate meltdowns, how to create a meltdown-friendly space in the classroom, and preventative strategies to reduce meltdowns. Okay, if that sounds good, let's jump in. So first things first, let's clear up the biggest misconception. Meltdowns and tantrums are not the same thing. A tantrum is usually goal-orientated. So if a child wants something like really bad, a toy, attention to get out to something, and when they don't get it, they throw a fit. But, and this is the key, they still have some level of control over their behavior. You might notice a child looking at you mid-tantrum to see if you're reacting, or stopping suddenly once they get what they want. However, a meltdown, on the other hand, is not about control. It's about loss of control. So the child, the student, they're not trying to manipulate the situation. They are completely and utterly overwhelmed and physically cannot regulate their emotions or behavior in that moment. Meltdowns often come from sensory overload, changes in routine, emotional dysregulation, and unlike a tantrum, no amount of reasoning or bribing will stop a meltdown once it starts. The child needs time, space, and support to work through it. So here's an example, because I know you guys love when I do these real life scenarios. So we're going to talk about a student, and I'm going to name him for this episode, Jake. Jake was having a great day until the fire alarm went off, and the loud noise sent him into complete, full-blown sensory overload. He started covering his ears, screaming, and eventually he curled into a ball, rocking back and forth. That's a meltdown because his brain went into survival mode, and at that point, no amount of "Jake, it's okay" was going to calm him down instantly. All right, so we've got a student in meltdown mode. What now? The worst thing we can do is to try and reason with them in that moment. So instead, try some of these strategies. Number one, the most important, you need to stay calm and regulate yourself. If we start to get flustered, frustrated, or start raising our voice, we're only adding fuel to the fire. So take a deep breath and keep your own energy low. And it's not a bad thing if you want to swap with another member of staff in that moment. Just like we tell students that their feelings and emotions are valid, yours are too. So if you feel like you can't regulate yourself in that moment, it is totally okay to tap out and swap with someone else on your team. You're leading by example, and you might find that one day a team member does the same back because they've seen you do it and feel like it's safe to have those feelings and emotions. 2, reduce stimulation. So if it's possible, try and move them to a quieter and maybe calmer area. If that's not possible, some of the things that I usually suggest are dimming the lights, lowering your voice, a soft whisper can go really far, and try to remove any unnecessary distractions. I'll also put a sign up asking people not to come in at this time, because people coming in and out of the classroom at that time could escalate things or stop my student from being able to calm down as well. Number 3, use minimal language. Meltdowns are not the time for long explanations. Stick to short, simple phrases. You're safe. I'm here. Take deep breaths. Number 4, offer a coping tool. So if your student has a favorite sensory tool, now is the time to offer it. A weighted lap pad, fidget, noise-cancelling headphones, whatever helps them to feel grounded. Now, I'm also going to put a little warning on this, because I have had students who love certain sensory tools that are very hard and heavy. So there are times that I will judge the situation and I will not offer that tool. I will offer something else that they really like, because I also have to bear in mind that tool could be used for that student to continue to express their frustration on themselves, staff, students around them. So offer the favorite sensory tool if it's appropriate and if you deem it safe. If not, offer another one that they really like or you think that they need right now. Number 5, give time and space. Some students need movement to work through a meltdown, while others just need to be still and quiet and alone. So follow their lead. Don't rush them. This is a process that can take sometimes minutes, sometimes hours, sometimes half a day. It just depends on that student and where they're at right now. So as an example, one of my students, I'm going to name her Emily for this podcast, had a really tough time with transitions. And if we had to change activities too quick, she would panic, cry, and sometimes hit herself. The best thing that we found was to give her space, a sensory ball to squeeze, and a picture schedule to help her see what was coming next. Now, all my students have these on the wall, but sometimes some students just benefit from having ones that they can carry around. And I've also made lanyards for them to wear as well with their own schedules as well. So it just depends on your student and what will benefit them. Over time, Emily then started to use the schedule on her own, and her meltdowns became less intense. So now we're going to talk about the environment. So we can't always prevent meltdowns, but we can make sure that our students have a safe place to go when they happen. So number 1, a calm corner or a safe space, just a small area with maybe some soft seating, some calming visuals and some sensory tools can be a lifesaver in the classroom. 2, noise control. If your classroom is loud, you could consider noise cancelling headphones or noise reducing headphones, or maybe a quiet zone for students who need a break. We love to use the play sofas that you can get. I don't know if I can mention the brands, but we all know the play sofas, and we turn them into little dens and then we add some blankets over them. It makes the inside space really like warm and cozy, but quiet and dark. And it actually makes the perfect area. And the great thing is, once it's done, we can switch it into a sofa if that's what the next student needs, or we can turn it into a triangular den if that's what the next student needs. So that works really well for us. Number 3, visual supports. So think of things like picture schedules, 3D schedules for students who may not be at the picture level yet, first and then boards, emotion charts. These can help students know what's happening and what they can do instead of melting down. And then we can start to work on those self-regulation strategies with them to help them understand and learn about the emotions and feelings that they have. 4 is sensory tools. So weighted blankets, fidget toys, stress balls, anything that helps to meet their sensory needs. And number 5 is consistency. So the more predictable the environment, the less likely meltdowns will happen. So clear expectations, routines, and structures, they can be the core game changer that maybe you're looking for. Now for the best part. What can we do to prevent meltdowns in the first place? I feel like this is a fairy godmother moment and everyone's looking for that magic spell that they can use. So here are 5 ways that you can try to prevent those meltdowns. Number 1, predictability and routine. The more structured and predictable the day, the safer your students will feel. Use visual schedules and give warnings before transitions. 2 is to teach emotional regulation. Help students recognize their emotions and use coping strategies before they hit the meltdown point. Zones of regulation, social stories, role-playing can all help. Number 3, sensory breaks. Build in movement breaks and yoga breaks and breathing breaks and fidget opportunities and quiet time so that your students don't get overwhelmed. Number 4, watch for early signs. Every student has kind of a tell before a meltdown. So it could be that they pace back and forth. It could be they cover their ears, or maybe you see an increase in their stimming. So if you see these, the key is to act early with some regulation tools. And 5, create a supportive relationship. You know how much I go on and on and on about how important it is to build these positive and strong relationships with our students. So when students trust us, they are more likely to feel safe and regulated. Build that relationship every day, and it will help them to see and know that you're a safe person. So for example, I had a student who we are going to name Ryan for this, who would start to bite his sleeve when he was getting overwhelmed. We would notice it early and we would give him a chewable necklace before he escalated. That small intervention stopped so many meltdowns before they even started. Now, not all meltdowns, but a lot of them. So, meltdowns are tough. But I think we can agree that with the right approach from you and all your staff as well, and even sometimes staff outside of your classroom, we can find ways to support our students through these meltdowns. And there are even some ways, hopefully I've shared today, that you can introduce to try to stop or reduce these meltdowns. Remember, meltdowns aren't bad behavior. They're not tantrums. They are a sign that a child needs help regulating. That's it for today. If this episode was helpful, please share it with your team and anyone else you think may benefit from it. If you have a topic you want me to cover, just reach out, send me an email, send me a message on social media. I love to hear from you. Okay, that's me done for today. Take care, have a great weekend, and I will catch you in the next episode.